Breaking news flashes across the city. A notorious con artist's identity is finally out. A massive billboard reveals the scammer behind a 100 billion won fraud, a crime that victimized 30% of the population. The total damage hits a staggering 100 billion won, but their list of crimes doesn't end there. It turns out this suspect has been living off scams since childhood, a life of deception. Currently, they're on the run, skillfully evading police capture with a dismissive tsk. Their name isn't even registered, casting doubt on its authenticity, though authorities confirm an unregistered 35-year-old male. Suddenly, a mugshot appears. The suspect is identified as Han Junwoo, age 35. Han Junwoo himself, disguised in a hoodie, scoffs, "Of all photos, they used that one." Resigned, he walks towards the police station under the moonlight, thinking, what's done is done. The story flashes back 30 years, to a young boy questioned about something he supposedly took. In a lavish hall, the small boy nervously answers a stern man, "I don't know." Tears well up in the child's eyes as he insists, "I didn't see anything." The man, clearly agitated, wonders aloud where the missing item could be. Panicked, the man thinks he needs to escape quickly before trouble erupts. We're introduced to an exclusive daycare, a playground for the children of the elite. Inside, a man ponders why he, unmarried, is even at this wealthy gathering. Suddenly, a commotion as he bumps into a woman, her wine glass teetering. With quick reflexes, he catches the falling glass, seemingly saving the day. But in that instant, he deftly swipes a ring from her finger, a master thief in action. He feigns concern for the woman, who's relieved her wine didn't spill. Apologizing for his haste, she assures him she's fine, completely unaware of the theft. He smoothly excuses himself, internally celebrating the perfectly executed, unnoticed heist. Clutching the stolen ring, his mind races towards the safety of his hideout. But his triumph is short-lived. The ring suddenly slips from his careless fingers. He watches in sheer panic as the ring flies from his grasp, bouncing erratically toward a child. The thief immediately confronts the startled boy, convinced the ring rolled near him. Tears well in the child's eyes as he insists, "I swear it wasn't me," looking genuinely terrified. Worried the boy's crying will draw attention, he quickly feigns a misunderstanding to retreat. As a staff member notices the upset child, the thief frantically scans the area, cursing his luck. A staff member approaches the crying child, asking why he's there, as the thief looks on, stunned. The thief reels. What did she say as the staff member turns to address him? "Are you the dad?" the staff member asks, putting the thief on the spot. Panicked thoughts race through the thief's mind. Deny it and get caught or play along. Suddenly, the boy shouts, "Dad!" The little boy rushes forward, clinging tightly to the bewildered thief's leg. "Dad!" the thief thinks in horror as the boy begs, "Don't leave me behind!" "I'm sorry, I won't ask for toys anymore." The child sobs, while the thief internally screams in denial. Onlookers begin to whisper, speculating if the child was abandoned at the fancy daycare. Cornered, the thief awkwardly scoops up the boy, feigning fatherly affection and promising a toy to make a quick exit. Panting heavily, the thief escapes into an alleyway, still clutching the unexpected child. Safe in an alley, the thief demands, "What's your deal?" But the boy plays innocent. "Why call me Dad?" the thief asks, setting the boy down, who replies, "You said it yourself." The thief is utterly baffled. "I did? Said what?" With a knowing look, the boy asks, "You were lying, weren't you?" The child then drops a bombshell. "I saw the whole thing," leaving the thief speechless. "Is the game over now?" the boy inquires, calling the thief's desperate act a game. The little boy grins broadly, declaring, "It was fun." Stunned, the thief questions the boy's idea of a game and asks where his parents are. The child cheerfully announces, "I don't have any." Then the boy turns the tables. "Aren't you homeless like me, mister?" shocking the thief. The boy reveals he just wanders in, doing what we just did, unnoticed until other kids are picked up. He clenches his fist, adding defiantly, "No one cares anyway until someone comes looking." "Oh, right," the boy exclaims, pulling something from his pocket. "I won the game." The thief stares, a flicker of understanding dawning on his face. His eye widens in sudden, utter shock as he realizes, "This is..." The boy proudly presents the sparkling diamond ring, declaring, "My ring." Dumbfounded, the thief watches the boy ask, "I won, didn't I?" holding the precious loot. The thief recalls the boy's tearful denial from earlier, realizing he was completely deceived. It hits him. The boy snuck into the daycare, pretending to be a kindergartner all along. And even fooled me, Go Il-nam of all people? The thief thinks as the boy peeks slyly, ring in hand. The thief marvels. When this kid who looks only 5 or 6? He sweats, utterly baffled. Just who the hell is he? The boy innocently holds the ring, looking up at the still stunned thief. The child's expression shifts, a hint of knowing confidence in his eyes. Are you also scared of me, mister? The boy asks, his question hitting hard. The thief recoils, wondering, what kind of face did I just make? Scared? He can't believe it. Scared of a 5-year-old kid? Yet facing the boy, the thief admits to himself, I'm scared. A profound realization dawns on him. The talent this child has. A subtle smile plays on the thief's lips, a new thought taking root. The thief extends his hand, an unexpected offer against the sunset. Want to come with me? He asks the boy, a life-changing question hanging in the air. The boy's bright eye reflects the light, considering this sudden proposal. Their hands connect, a small one clasped by a larger one, as the boy narrates, on that day. Looking up, a blush touches the child's cheeks, a flicker of hope ignited. I gained a family, the boy reveals, walking beside the now smiling thief. He continues, my very first father in this life, Go Il-nam. Yet, the boy admits, but there was one thing even I didn't know back then. For aside from Go Il-nam, he would soon gain 3 more ominous fathers. A desperate plea echoes from another time. Mister, please help me, my mom and little sister. The scene shifts to a family dinner, the boy asking, what are those people doing? As they watch TV. Go Il-nam explains, you know that game you like? They're playing that. A flashback shows the boy asking for help, the man assuring, you can say it was all fake, just trust me. Back at the dinner table, another man with long hair eyes the boy intently while eating. Go Il-nam asks, want to give that a try? While the long-haired man adds, if you're family, you're more than qualified. The boy excitedly raises his hand. I want to. I can do it well. A close-up reveals the boy's bright, determined eye sparkling with anticipation. The scene changes to a dark street, a man looking back as the boy calls out, Mister! The boy stands nervously wringing his hands. My mom. Tears streaming, he pleads, please help us, my mom and little sister. The boy proudly presents a wad of cash, asking, I did a good job, right? He offers the money to the long-haired man, boasting, he totally fell for it. Eagerly, the child then asks, when's the next one? What role do I get to play? A wicked grin spreads across the long-haired man's face, seeing the boy's potential. The boy narrates, after that day, I actively joined in the scams pulled by my fathers. With the boy's help, every con we got involved in ended in success. Soon, the boy reveals. Eventually, I even started crafting the cons myself. He relished the power. I enjoyed watching how no one ever caught on to my lies. Now older, holding a mask over his victims, the world felt like it was completely in my hands. He had become not as a child of the family, but as a member of the con artist group. Damn it! Echoes through the room, signaling a con gone wrong. Junwoo, now older, furiously confronts them. I told you not to touch that job. Why can't you ever listen? The long-haired father argues, 100 billion won. How could I walk away? I didn't think it'd go this far. Go Il-nam desperately pleads, Jae Junwoo, is there no way out? You're smart, you must have something. Junwoo, utterly defeated, declares, there's no such thing, so just give up. It's over. The long-haired man grabs Junwoo's collar, shouting, there has to be a way! If we get caught, we're seriously screwed! Surrounded by his desperate fathers, they pressure him. If one of us goes down, we all go down. As a hand rests on his shoulder, Junwoo thinks, piece of shit. While a voice says, don't worry too much, Junwoo. Go Il-nam smiles reassuringly. It's about time we retire anyway, as Junwoo utters, Dad. Go Il-nam's hand tightens on Junwoo's shoulder, a tremor betraying hidden tension. Junwoo's eye glints as he considers, if I really do go down for this? He closes his eyes, thinking, fine, maybe that's for the best. Rain lashes a prison wall as he admits, I'm sick of all this scamming crap anyway. Looking down at his captured fathers, one emotion consumed him. Regret. A barred cell window appears as he deems regret a useless emotion. Lying defeated on the cell floor, Junwoo sighs, I'm just done. He recalls his life with his greedy, short-sighted fathers, always living in hiding. Bruised and weary, Junwoo's face shows the toll of his life. His eyes close once more, a final thought. Yeah, this ends here. Suddenly, his eye snaps open as a voice cries out, Son! Go Il-nam's desperate shout, Son, rips through the silence. Junwoo, disoriented, sees a younger version of himself sitting calmly in a sunlit room. What? He stammers, his eyes wide with disbelief at the sudden shift. A memory surfaces. Go Il-nam on the floor, another father cheering, Your dad pulled it off! Young Junwoo's eye widens, a single syllable, D, escaping his lips. Go Il-nam beams, proudly presenting a chicken drumstick. Dad? I managed to protect the chicken drumstick. Eat up! Go Il-nam urges young Junwoo. You'll be starting high school soon. Young Junwoo stares, utterly bewildered. I'm becoming a high school student? A whiteboard reveals a new con, targeting a school principal, with Junwoo playing a key role after school. One of his fathers explains the plan, detailing their gangster disguises and Junwoo's part. Young Junwoo sits stoically, arms crossed, as his fathers discuss their next move. He remains silent, a thoughtful expression on his face, seemingly lost in his own world. One father snaps, Hey, Han Junwoo, are you listening? As Junwoo finally looks up, still quiet. The whiteboard reveals their target, Seonwoo Middle School's principal, and Junwoo utters, Ah. A flicker of recognition crosses Junwoo's face. The principal... So, is that the building from 20 years ago? The father explains, If the contractor's son attends his school, it builds trust, showing Junwoo with the principal. First, he signs a fake contract I've prepared, the father continues, revealing the bogus agreement. Then we move him to a VIP spot where others disguised as gangsters await, the principal now looking terrified. Junwoo's eyes gleam as he grasps the scheme. He'd want to cancel to avoid gangster rumors. Then we demand cancellation fees, the father concludes, while another asks, That's the plan, right? As the first father fumes at Junwoo's quick grasp. Junwoo coolly excuses himself, already knowing his minor role, impressing his fathers with his sharp intuition. As Junwoo exits, one father remarks on his recent quietness, but the long-haired man knows his son's nature. The long-haired father smirks, recalling Junwoo's fierce determination once a target is set. The fathers casually discuss a previous case, confirming it was resolved long ago. Junwoo sighs in the bathroom, the running water a backdrop to his swirling thoughts. Staring at his reflection, Junwoo confirms the current con is another repeat from his past life. He acknowledges the reality of his return and vows not to relive his old mistakes. A glint in Junwoo's eye signals a new resolve, but a significant problem looms. His father interrupts his thoughts, calling his name as he enters the bathroom. The long-haired man hands Junwoo a document, revealing details for their upcoming con. Junwoo notes, I seem to have a fairly important role this time, as his father replies, I figured you could handle at least that much. Junwoo's eye shines, acknowledging, it's an important job, and his father confirms, That's right. And the father's expression turns serious, adding, It's dangerous, too. With a dark, intense gaze, the father declares, Listen here, there's nothing we do that isn't dangerous. Junwoo thinks, As expected, Jang Junwon. He's thoroughly prepared to run if things go south. The document details an escape plan, a ship near Sampyo Port, Incheon, listing passengers. The full passenger list appears, Jang Junhwan, Kim Kwang-soo, Lee Seok-jae, Go Il-nam, a total of 4 people. Junwoo stares at the document, a stark realization hitting him. I'm not in that plan. His father, with a skeptical look, questions Junwoo. Are you chickening out? Junwoo smirks, a glint in his eye. No way. I've been doing well so far. His father clarifies, This time you're only attending school because the principal is involved. In the bathroom, his father warns, Don't show your face outside recklessly, and don't bother making friends. As he leaves, the father adds a chilling reminder, Remember, we're the only place that will accept you. Junwoo recalls, In my previous life, I perfectly orchestrated countless schemes. He reflects on his past successes. Nothing handed to me ever failed, except for one thing. His father's manipulative desires were the cause. They brainwashed me for their own gain. Junwoo realizes they saw him as a tool, fearing his exposure to the outside world. A flashback shows a lonely young Junwoo, isolated in front of a TV. He muses they feared he'd run, yet there was only one person who truly cared about me. Go Il-nam's past words echo, offering an out, met by young Junwoo's fierce, confused denial. Young Junwoo, in a past outburst, yells at Go Il-nam, "I like this work. Why won't you let me do what I want?" He presses further, his voice filled with youthful angst. "Do you hate me, Dad?" As Go Il-nam looks down sadly. A poignant image shows young Junwoo walking away from Go Il-nam, their paths diverging. Junwoo reflects, "At the time, I didn't know that he said that to protect me." In a flashback, Go Il-nam suggests other careers. There are many other paths in this world. Go Il-nam's face lights up with an idea. Right, an actor. How about becoming an actor? He beams proudly. "Since my son likes acting," laughing warmly. Young Junwoo considers this, a faint smile playing on his lips. "That's right, I never thought about it that way before." Back in the present, Go Il-nam stands in the bathroom doorway, calling out, "Son!" Go Il-nam smiles kindly. "Since we're both feeling down, want to go get some meat?" Go Il-nam laughs, "Wah ha ha. You've finally come to appreciate the taste of anchovy stew, huh?" He reminds Junwoo, "You used to hate it so much," as they sit in a small restaurant. Junwoo looks down pensively as Go Il-nam begins. "So, son." Go Il-nam sets down his chopsticks, perceptively asking, "You've got something you want to say, don't you?" Junwoo lifts his gaze, a faint, knowing smile playing on his lips. "Dad," Junwoo starts, and Go Il-nam attentively responds, "Hmm?" With a serious expression, Junwoo declares, "I'm going to die." The scene shifts to a chaotic school assembly, a teacher shouting, "Where are the rest of our class? Why is it so empty?" Another teacher sighs, "Phew, it's the first day of the retreat and the weather's like this." Looking up at a gloomy sky, the teacher spots Junwoo standing apart and calls out, "Han Junwoo, aren't you coming?" Junwoo calmly replies, "Yes, I'm coming," to the teacher's call. Another teacher asks if Class 2 is all present, while Junwoo checks his phone. His phone displays a message from Dad. "Have a good trip." A faint, knowing smile plays on Junwoo's lips as he reads the text. The students are hurried onto a bus at Jeju International Airport, short on time. Rain pours down on a secluded building by the sea, the retreat location. Inside, a stark white door with a modern lock hints at the students' rooms. A man in a red shirt sighs, "Seriously, kids are a hassle every single time." Yet, he smirks, opening a cardboard box. This is what makes it worth it. The box reveals bottles of alcohol and cigarettes, clearly not for students. The man in red smirks. "Maybe I'll drink with teacher Yahello today." Suddenly, a loud bang echoes as the door bursts open, startling him. His eyes widen in shock, a bead of sweat trickling down his face. Junwoo stands there, furious. "What the fuck? Who the hell are you to just walk in here?" The man stammers, "You!" As Junwoo scoffs, "You're calling me an instructor, you!" Junwoo explains, annoyed. "The head teacher told you to get lost, right? Sharing a room with kids is annoying, so I'm gonna take a nap here." Enraged, the man shouts, "What did you just say? What's your name? What class are you in?" He grabs Junwoo's collar. "Before I call your homeroom teacher, let me give you some beating. Come here, you little punk." Junwoo sighs, his eyes glinting dangerously. "Ha, you little..." With a swift move, Junwoo slams the man's head into the wall, yelling, "Bastard!" as his name tag flies off. Junwoo glares. "Watch your filthy hands. Weren't you going to call my teacher?" His eyes narrow menacingly. "I doubt he can even come." Junwoo reveals, "My dad and uncles beat him up recently," shocking the man. A tattoo peeks from his collar as he dares, "Go on, fucking call him." The man panics. "Tattoos? A gangster family?" A chilling smirk plays on Junwoo's lips. Junwoo lounges on the sofa. "Just get lost. Call the teachers outside if you must." The man, seething, mutters, "You little shit." He storms out, yelling, "Stay right there," as the door slams shut. Junwoo watches him go, thinking, "That was easier than I thought." Junwoo sits alone, his name tag Han Junwoo visible, peering into the open box. A close-up on Junwoo's eyes reveals a glint of contemplation. The camera focuses on the contraband, soju bottles and cigarettes. Down the hall, the man in red walks with another teacher, doubting Junwoo. He's not the kind of kid to do something like that. He's really quiet in class. The red-shirted man recounts Junwoo's gangster claims and tattoos. But he said his dad's a gangster or something? He has tattoos on his body, too. While the other teacher suggests, "Let's check the staff room just in case." The other teacher bursts back into the room shouting, "Han Junwoo!" They find the room empty, the teacher asking, "Where did he go?" The teacher sniffs the air. "Oh, it smells like alcohol. Did you drink in here?" accusing the man in red. The man in red stammers, No, I didn't even touch them." Then exclaims, "Oh, over there!" He points dramatically towards the table laden with alcohol and cigarettes. The table is now a damning display of scattered cigarettes and open beer cans. "I know you didn't drink, instructor," the teacher says, as the red-shirted man frantically denies it. They peer through a rain-lashed window, the downpour obscuring the view. For now, the teacher decides, let's just focus on finding where he went. Junwoo stands alone by the stormy sea, rain plastering his hair as he glances back. He's a solitary figure on a windswept cliff, dwarfed by the raging ocean. Junwoo stares out, his expression unreadable against the bleak, rainy sky. "The play I prepared is now over," he thinks, waves crashing below. "Now it's the end." Looking out at the churning water, Junwoo muses, "I thought I'd feel completely relieved." His foot hovers near the edge. But even if it's all been lies, reaching the end leaves me feeling strange. Junwoo reflects, "Until now I believed I was living in a movie," as film strips unfurl. He sees his past self as a con artist, realizing, if I stay here, I'll just repeat the same life again. A grim decision forms. So that's why. Today, Han Junwoo will end his 35 years of life, as a bottle tips over. Standing in the downpour, Junwoo thinks with a serene expression, it's a perfect day to die. Suddenly, a sharp eye spots him, a voice declaring, "Found him!" Two figures, likely teachers, confront Junwoo on the cliff, shouting, "Han Junwoo! What are you doing there, you punk?" Junwoo remains eerily calm, his gaze fixed ahead despite their urgent cries. The teachers rush forward, one yelling, "Get down from there right now, you punk! It's dangerous up there!" From above, Junwoo stands resolute at the precipice, thinking, this is enough. Now it's time to end everything. His foot taps perilously close to the cliff's edge, the rain continuing to fall. As teachers desperately rush closer, Junwoo stands defiantly, arms outstretched to the raging storm. His past as a reckless beast flashes before him like a film strip, leading to this final fall. A symbolic hand reaches to cut the film reel, signifying the end he desires. Junwoo looking at a phone, thinking, that was bad timing then. Outside a building, angry voices exclaim, "They ran away again?" Inside, two men are in crisis mode. With only 5 hours to showtime, performers have vanished, and tickets must be refunded. One man suggests filing a compensation claim, but the other dismisses it, doubting performers at their tiny theater have any money. The younger man watches his boss, CEO Ju, walk away, reflecting on Ju's excessive kindness being his major flaw. CEO Ju laments, "They say trust is important in business. Damn it!" He recalls his past. Ju Mansik was a member of the National Assembly just 5 years ago. Back then, many sought to gain benefits through him, their eyes gleaming with greed. But even those he trusted ended up betraying him amidst daily power struggles. All that remained were fabricated scandals and the sting of isolation. So he stepped away, and the first business he boldly started involved getting his hands dirty. It was building a small theater, a venture that proved challenging for 5 long years. At first, things went surprisingly well, with crowds flocking to his countryside theater. His strategy of casting unknown rookies, hungry for their moment, paid off. He understood that an actor's name is key, as proven by the success of famous actress Ha Seong-woo from his Nemo troupe. CEO Ju believes true quality isn't actor fame, but how well they embody their role. He sits alone, reflecting that moving the audience's hearts is paramount. That's why he championed talented newcomers, often overlooked by bigger names. His theater was once celebrated for finding these hidden gems, but success was fleeting. The actors he nurtured, their eyes set on Seoul, would eventually leave. Once noticed, these fame-hungry performers chased opportunities in bigger city companies. Now facing this desertion for the 3rd time, Ju questions if the fault lies with him or the world. He remembers something playing earlier, before his talk with Assistant Director Joe. A flicker of hope crosses Ju's face as he cautiously peeks through a door. Inside, someone sits alone in the theater, watching a brightly lit screen. CEO Ju spots the familiar figure, just as I thought. He's here again, a kid who's been lurking around. He notes the boy's odd work clothes, clearly not fitting his apparent high school age. Yet, this mysterious kid always leaves a few bills behind after watching their shows. Ju wonders if, in their struggling theater, this boy is their only true regular. Approaching the lone figure, Ju asks directly, "What's your name?" The young man, unfazed, replies cryptically, "I don't have one of those." Ju internally fumes. Even the neighborhood mutt has a name, clearly irked by the evasiveness. "How old are you?" Ju presses as the boy admits, "I'm 17, but I don't go to school." The boy then apologizes. "I thought it was okay to watch since no one said anything." As the boy turns to leave, Ju stammers, What? Hey, who said anything? I mean," suddenly hesitant. The boy pauses, remembering something, and says, "Oh, right." He turns back, offering a crumpled bill to CEO Ju, who asks, "What is it?" "I enjoyed watching again today," the boy says, adding, "It was a bit disappointing that it got cut off halfway." Ju exclaims, "Hey, when did I ever ask you for money?" clearly flustered. As the boy tries to hand over the money, Ju suddenly grabs his arm. Ju notices something, asking with concern, "Your wrist. Is it injured?" The boy reassures him, "It's okay. If I go home, put on a pain patch, and take a nap, it'll get better." Ju looks at the boy's wrist, still holding it, a thoughtful expression replacing his earlier irritation. The boy gazes back, his bright blue eyes meeting Ju's, a silent moment passing between them. Pulling his hand away, the boy states, "I'll be going now," turning to leave once more. Ju desperately calls out, "Wait, hold on! Are you only interested in the play?" as the boy turns back with a questioning look. Flustered, Ju rubs his eyes, stammering, "Inside, there are other recordings and scripts too. No, what I mean is..." Ju scratches his head, muttering, "Saying it like this makes me sound like a kidnapper trying to lure a child with candy." The boy, still by the doorway, looks slightly perplexed by Ju's awkwardness. Ju then suggests, "Can't you just come in, get quick treatment, and leave?" trying a different approach. The boy glances back, a thoughtful expression on his face, considering Ju's offer. Suddenly, they're outside a restaurant, the boy remarking, "I thought you'd ignore me and leave till the end." As the boy eats, Ju observes, "Looks like you were hungry," noticing the bandages on his hand. Ju then asks, "It's a bit bland, but why do you do that kind of work?" adding, "Just, someone came to mind." The boy smirks slightly, replying, "Everyone has their reasons," while Ju notes his youth and good looks. The boy chews thoughtfully, his gaze distant. Ju, holding a script, presses, "What kind of reasons, "Ah, this?" Ju gestures with the papers, revealing Korean text. "This is the new script I just received," Ju explains, the boy now attentive. Ju offers it across the table. "Curious, take a look." The boy takes the script, a hint of a smile as he says, "So this is a script." He reads lines about Ju Young questioning life and kindness on stage. The script continues with characters discussing school life and ideal types. As the boy reads, Ju observes him with a thoughtful, The boy's expression turns serious, completely absorbed in the script's words. CEO Ju watches the boy intently, his expression unreadable. Suddenly, Ju snatches the script back, declaring, "That's as far as you go." He explains, "Since it's an unreleased work, I can't show you everything." Ju internally dismisses the boy's potential understanding, thinking he showed it lightly. He muses that the boy's serious focus made him instinctively retrieve the script. The boy simply states, "I read it well," as Ju internally questions his own impulse. Ju presses, "Is that all your reaction? Do you think it will do well?" After the boy demurs, Ju passionately defends the script's meticulous creation. Ju then prods, "Why? Because it's romance, you're not really interested?" The boy thoughtfully replies, "It's not that, I just don't know if it's the right script for your theater." Ju, puzzled, asks, "With my theater? What does that mean?" as the boy points to the script. The boy specifies, "From the second line on the first page," and Ju quickly flips to it. Ju reads, "Ju Young, what exactly is your ideal type?" And the boy instantly replies, "Doesn't have one." Stunned, Ju listens as the boy recites more lines and even stage directions perfectly. Ju stares at the script, then back at the boy, exclaiming, "What?" as the boy continues quoting. The boy calmly recites another line about Kyung-soo revealing his face, Ju thinking, "It was barely even a minute?" Ju, still bewildered, presses, "All right, but what does that have to do with the theater?" The boy explains a specific scene where characters meet, pointing to an imagined stage. He calculates, if the three characters walk and talk, they'd take about 20 steps in 30 seconds, then adds, "But the main stage is only 13 steps wide." The boy continues, And since they're using umbrellas, even with bright lighting, the characters would still be hidden in shadows, gesturing to illustrate. The boy suggests, to fix this, change the background to a bus stop so characters can stay in one place without cutting dialogue. He elaborates, the male character appears mid-conversation, tilts his umbrella, hiding his face to build audience curiosity. Pausing mid-bite, the boy adds, in the end he has to appear dramatic to the viewers. Ju, looking sweaty and flustered, interjects, oh, ignore me. I just figured it'd be a hassle, that's all. The boy simply continues eating his meal, unfazed. Ju, now leaning forward with the script, eagerly asks, can you keep going? What? Ju clarifies. The stuff you just said. I want to hear more about other parts, too. The boy looks up, taking the script Ju offers across the table. He begins to flip through the script pages, his expression serious again. Ju watches him intently, a thoughtful, almost stunned silence hanging in the air. Ju internally marvels. The things this kid casually spits out are shocking, listing stage design and actor movement. He continues his thought, the exact timing to brighten or dim the lights as they sit in the restaurant. The boy, script in hand, seems to explain details like placement and color temperature. Ju realizes the boy even grasps breathing between lines, a feat beyond many professionals. A bead of sweat rolls down Ju's face as he processes the boy's incredible insight. Ju thinks, yet just one comment from this kid is enough to sync every necessary element of the script to fit my stage. The boy taps the script titled A Chance Encounter, drawing Ju's attention. Ju, utterly stunned, begins to question the boy. When? Ju rapidly fires off questions. Did you learn stage directing? Which company? You designed the storyboard, right? As the boy looks up, surprised. Ju presses, is your current work related to that? But the boy simply replies, no, sorry. The boy admits, I saw a play for the first time just recently. He continues, I actually wanted to see a movie, but there's no theater in this town, as Ju asks. So that was your first time? Ju internally calculates, the first time I saw this kid was about 3 weeks ago. That means, Ju, hand to his face in disbelief, thinks, this little brat who just entered high school grasped everything about stage work in only 3 weeks? Ju's thoughts show actors on stage. A play doesn't just involve acting. He continues, ordinary people might think it's just about acting, but the reality is different. Ju visualizes a crew working. It's a comprehensive art created by experts from various fields such as writers, art, music, lighting, and directing. Back in the restaurant, Ju thinks, but now this kid, just from skimming the script, has done it all on his own. The boy calmly eats as Ju internally exclaims, and he's only been watching plays for 3 weeks.
Ju, still processing, suddenly asks the boy, then how about rewriting the lines too? As the boy pauses, spoon midair.
Ju clarifies, based on the assumptions from what you said just now. Ju internally declares, I want to see more, wondering if the boy's insight extends to acting. The boy, arms crossed, thoughtfully says, The boy replies, I can't. I don't know who the actors are, as Ju internally marks this as his limit. Ju suggests, well, I guess that depends on the actor's skill, but the boy interjects, that's not it. The boy explains, you have to look at that person's life, noting habits and even stiff facial muscles. He continues, if you don't know that, you can't direct them properly, mentioning unique vocal trembling or pitch. Ju internally scoffs, he's not a machine. How can a person calculate all that? But then adds, but still. Ju's internal monologue continues with a stark, I know. He admits to himself, I'm just in denial because it's hard to accept. The boy cryptically tells Ju, try smiling in the mirror later. He then observes, you subconsciously widen your pupils when you smile. You'd be perfect for a serial killer role. Ju, utterly flabbergasted by the comment, stammers, what? The boy casually stands up, dismissing his intense observation with, I'm just kidding. Ju, deep in thought, marvels. He's not just brilliant at stage and direction, this kid is really something. As the boy prepares to leave, he asks a still dazed Ju, aren't you leaving? The boy thanks Ju for the meal and departs, leaving Ju alone at the table. Ju lets out an uneasy laugh, wondering, what was that? I feel like I've been hypnotized. Later, outside, Ju ponders the boy's origins, still full of questions but expecting to see him again. The next day, in an office, the boy appears, stating, I came to get my money. to Ju's surprise. Ju looks surprised as the boy confirms, "Yeah, I did," holding out his hand. The boy demands his pay, exactly 587,001. As a man at the table erupts, "What did you just say, punk?" The man in green taunts, "I'll give it to you later" means I won't, while Ju calls the boy a little brat. "So you're not going to pay?" the boy asks, only for Ju to sneer, "Of course not, punk. I don't have any money for you." The boy sighs internally. "You are making it hard. I was trying to give him one last chance." He recalls Ju's excuses. "I let it go a few times." He said the situation was bad. The boy holding an envelope of cash thinks, but do they even realize who they're bullshitting? His eyes gleam as he considers, they probably think I'm helpless because I'm young and without parents. He knows their game. I know they skimmed money from the other workers too, picturing Ju's greedy face. The boy muses, so getting them to fess up and leave would be easy, but still. The boy thinks, where am I supposed to find another job, imagining Ju's desperate plea. Suddenly, a different man bursts into an office yelling, "You shorted my pay?" Meanwhile, Ju sits alone in the empty theater, wondering, why isn't he coming today? Ju sighs, "Ha! It's already past time for him to come," as an assistant calls out, "Sir!" The assistant asks Ju, just in time, where would a 17-year-old usually hang out? Ju replies, at 17, he should be at school, obviously. He doesn't go to school, he works at a construction site. The assistant suggests, then why don't you check the construction site? Ju looks surprised, asking, what are you talking about? The assistant clarifies, you just said yourself that he works at a construction site, so he's probably at the construction site now. Ju looks thoughtful. That's it, Ju exclaims, suddenly bolting from his seat, as his assistant shouts, wait, CEO, you have a meeting to go to. Ju runs through the streets thinking, right, why didn't I think of that? He said he works at a construction site, so he must be there. Ju pants heavily, sweat dripping, clearly exerting himself to find the boy. Ju arrives at a sprawling construction site, asking, is this the place? He approaches a small site office, hearing indistinct shouting from within. Ju cautiously pushes the office door open, peering inside. He slams the door fully open, roaring, what? You're shorting his pay? Ju confronts the two men with the boy present, yelling, you're skimming money off a kid like there's no one else to steal from? Do you have no shame? Enraged, Ju flips their table, sending cash and cards flying as he screams, these fexking scumbags! The boy, unfazed, calmly states, I'm going to report all of you to the Department of Labor. Ju turns to the boy, demanding, what are you standing there for? Grabbing the boy's arm, Ju yells, get out of here, kid! Why waste your time dealing with these bastards? As the men cry over their lost money. The boy glances back, a bead of sweat on his temple as Ju mutters, goodness, those damn punks! Back in Ju's office, he angrily questions the boy. And you, why the hell are you putting up with this crap? But the boy calmly asks, why are you so mad? Ju presses, aren't you angry? You should be getting paid. Should I report them and get those bastards all busted? The boy simply replies, why would you do that? Frustrated, Ju lectures, hey, if an adult's trying to help you, the least you can do is say thank you instead of talking back. A close-up reveals Ju's determined gaze through his glasses, a plan forming. Ju's bandaged hand clenches into a tight fist, showing his resolve. He then makes an offer, just quit that job and work here instead. Suddenly, Ju exclaims, ah, a bead of sweat appearing as a thought strikes him. He nervously calculates on his fingers, muttering, come to think of it, how much money did I lose last month again? Ju looks up, a slightly awkward expression on his face as he asks the boy, why? He then tries to sweeten the deal. I mean, if you're here, you can watch the plays you like too, right? The boy directly asks Ju, why are you helping me, even yesterday? Ju scoffs, I'm not helping you, brat. The part-timer quit, so I need a new one. The boy presses, are you rich? You always seem worried, not like you have money to spare. As Ju flinches. Ju, sweating, asks defensively, why, you think I'm going to rip you off? Yeah, the boy states plainly, as Ju seethes internally. This little brat. Ju vows, even if I have to work your construction shift myself, I'll make sure you get paid. Ju stares intently, a bead of sweat on his temple, committed to his promise. Ju recalls yesterday admitting, I can't remember everything this kid said, and there's no proof. Yet, Ju thinks, but that feeling, I can't let a kid like this waste away at a construction site. Ju muses. Everyone has a place. Honestly, having him here is a loss for me now, but as the boy sits under a soft glow, Ju concludes his thoughts. Even so, I want to keep him close as the boy remains silent. Ju then says to the boy, but about what you just said. The boy looks up, asking, does the part-timer get to watch plays too? The sun sets over the theater building, signaling the passage of time. Inside, Ju stands alone, arms crossed, waiting by a doorway. He taps his foot impatiently, wondering, why isn't he coming out? Ju frowns, a bead of sweat appearing. Is he more meticulous than I thought? A week later, Ju recalls, earlier I saw the basement rehearsal room was a bit messy, so I told him to just tidy it up. Ju remembers telling the boy, then thinks, but that was 3 hours ago. An irk mark appears on Ju's forehead as he thinks, I figured we could grab a meal when he got back. Ju heads down, wondering, does he have OCD or something? No, even then it should have only taken an hour at most. He bursts into the room, shouting, hey you, how long are you gonna? Ju's eye widens behind his glasses, a spark of realization. He looks down at the boy amidst scattered books, asking, you? What is all this? The boy, looking slightly flustered, points and explains, oh, that shelf collapsed, and Ju visualizes the script shelf, thinking, I can already picture what happened. He imagines the shelf toppling and the boy getting completely lost in the scripts. But still, Ju trails off, noticing a small, neat stack of scripts on a side table. The camera lingers on a vase with red flowers, beautifully arranged on a nearby desk. Ju asks, what were you doing? The boy replies, I just wanted to read one, then clarifies, yes, I just read it, with my eyes. Ju points at the scattered scripts, asking, if you're just reading, what's all this? Were you rehearsing solo? A subtle smile plays on Ju's lips as he observes the boy. The boy holds up a script with Cyrillic lettering as Ju asks, a Russian play? Ju wonders why he chose that, but the boy states, oh, I've already read all of those, leaving Ju stunned. Ju gestures towards the side, saying, over there. Ju's eye widens in disbelief as the boy clarifies, the ones neatly stacked, I already read them. A massive glowing bookshelf appears, emphasizing the sheer volume of scripts the boy claims to have read. Ju, still processing, asks, that's why you were reading a Russian script? The boy holds the open Russian script and Ju presses, do you know Russian? The boy points, beginning to explain, no, well, a slight hesitation in his voice. Ju spots a book on the shelf asking, a Russian dictionary? The boy admits, I looked up a few words and I got a rough idea of the content, as Ju scoffs. Ju exclaims, what? His eye wide with disbelief, then mutters, so, he wonders, he only looked at a few words and came up with this, surveying the chaotic room. Ju stares, a bead of sweat on his temple, as the boy holds the open Russian script. Ju's thought focuses on the Cyrillic title, the book this guy is reading. He remembers, I used to study that script several times in the past, shown diligently at his desk. Ju recalls, the chapter he's looking at now is where the character vents emotions by overturning things. Looking at the boy and the mess, Ju realizes, now that I see it, these scattered props aren't just randomly thrown around. Ju thinks they've captured the character's emotions from the scene perfectly, as a watch and inkwell are shown. Ju internally fumes, without knowing basic terms, tackling a play you can't even grasp. He stares at the boy, wondering intently, what on earth do you want to be? Ju demands, why so quiet? What's your dream? Stage manager? Director? The boy remains seated, eyes downcast, as Ju insists, let's hear it now. Ju is floored as the boy states, my dream is just to live like I am now, prompting Ju to ask, like now? Gesturing at the chaos, Ju presses, then what is all this? The boy says nothing. The boy calmly replies, I'm just setting the stage before the scene starts, as Ju sweats, asking, scene? Ju watches the boy, a thought dawning. Were you thinking of acting? Silence. A knowing look from Ju. You're not denying it, huh? As the boy stays quiet. Ju scratches his head, amazed. To think you'd be into acting. I figured directing was your path. Ju wonders, is that why he's so interested in the stage? Watching the boy sweep near the theater seats. Ju advises, "From what I see, you should consider directing over acting," then adds, "It's just one scene, there's no need to go this far." The boy looks up sharply, stating, "It's not like I placed them like this for no reason." He continues, "They all have their purposes," as the camera focuses on meticulously placed books and papers. Ju scoffs excuses. "Great actors can capture emotions anywhere, man." But the boy retorts, "Theater is different." The boy's intense blue eye fills the frame as he insists, "There's something called the stage." Ju, looking perplexed, questions, "Stage? What does the stage have to do with acting?" "Because everything on stage must harmonize," the boy explains, "whether it's actors, props, or anything else," prompting Ju to ask if harmony trumps acting. The boy's hand rests on a prop as he clarifies, "That's part of it, but I want the stage itself to be perfect." Ju strokes his chin, observing the boy's unwavering, serious gaze. The boy looks back, a silent challenge in his eyes. He declares, "I'll just show you here," striding towards the meticulously arranged desk, leaving Ju to ask, "What?" His hand taps firmly on the desk, a sense of purpose in the gesture. Suddenly, an intense purple aura surrounds the boy as he leans over the desk. Ju watches, a flicker of anticipation on his face. The boy clutches his head, a palpable wave of emotion beginning to build. Ju's eye widens in shock, a bead of sweat trickling down his temple. Ju realizes, "I knew as soon as he started. That is the face of someone with nowhere left to go, with nothing left to lose." Ju observes he wasn't just babbling on, he became a completely different person among the props. Furthermore, how did he do that? Ju notes with astonishment, the whites of his eyes dyed red from burst blood vessels. Ju marvels, a physical reaction that can't be achieved by acting alone. Is it possible to immerse oneself so deeply in such a short time? The boy slams his fist on the desk, roaring in anguish. "What's the use of all this?" He stumbles back from the desk, trembling, his body racked with the character's despair. Losing his balance, the boy sways precariously amidst the carefully placed props. His foot hovers dangerously close to a watch lying on the wooden floor. With a sickening clank, his sneaker crushes the watch underfoot. The boy lurches wildly, kicking out as he completely loses his footing. Ju shouts, "Watch out!" thinking, there are too many objects around that he got tripped. Ju's eyes widen, a sudden understanding dawning on his face. A hand grips fabric tightly, bracing for impact or a sudden realization. The boy stumbles, catching himself on a nearby ornate chair, utterly spent. His hand grips the chair tightly, head bowed in exhaustion from the intense performance. He collapses into the seat, burying his face in his hands, the character's despair still clinging to him. Ju stares, a chilling realization dawning as he processes the boy's every move. Ju's mind races. That wasn't a mistake, he thinks, looking at the boy amidst the chaos. Ju notes the natural way the boy grabbed the chair, his posture perfectly conveying utter defeat. He sees how the scattered, broken props now frame the boy's despondent figure. Even the boy's blank, strengthless expression as he sits contributes to the scene's power. Ju concedes he was right about everything, as every element achieved perfect harmony. Turning slightly, the boy looks at Ju and calmly states, "I'm done," leaving Ju speechless. Ju, with a stern expression, declares, "This won't do." The boy's determined face fills the frame as a voice urges, "You have to go on stage now." A flashback reveals the boy's struggle. 2 years since leaving his father's, finding even part-time work was tough. He recalls his past, thinking he could live easily if he wanted, as he wipes blood from his hand at a harsh job. Yet, he vowed against it, finding a strange satisfaction in his daily construction work. Though the routine was somewhat fulfilling, he admits, but I knew... As he eats a simple meal, he remembers what I was so desperately longing for. A coworker kindly advises him, "Hey kid, at your age, you shouldn't just stay here." The man suggests, "I heard a theater opened in the neighboring town. Why don't you try going there once?" A spark ignites in the boy's eye, a silent acknowledgement of his true desire. The boy contemplates, "Theater, huh?" as the sun sets behind him. He then found himself at that very theater, watching actors on stage. He recalls, it wasn't a movie but a play, standing alone in the empty theater. He sat in the audience, watching the performance unfold on the brightly lit stage. In the seats, a man sighed deeply, but that wasn't what caught the boy's attention. What mattered more was that his initial disappointment about it not being a movie quickly vanished. For the first time in a long while, he felt completely overwhelmed. The raw energy of actors performing live, not for a camera, struck him with a unique charm. At one point, an intense urge to stand on that very stage washed over him. From that day forward, as soon as work ended, he headed straight to the theater. He remembers acting on pure instinct. My body moved before my thoughts did. He'd sit in the empty theater, drawn to the silent, beckoning stage. One day, a man from the theater staff approached. "What's your name?" The man Ju pressed him, his gaze unwavering. "Let's hear your name first." Ju, clearly an official, questioned his lingering, urging him to state his purpose and leave. The boy found his meddling slightly annoying, yet sensed no real harm. Ju's tone was harsh, but his actions weren't cruel, even pulling him from supposed bad company. So people like him are still around, the boy thought. His own life must be hard. The flashback concludes. In the present, Ju faces the boy after the audition. It's over. Ju's expression is stern, his verdict clear. This won't do. Ju insists, his voice echoing, "You need to get on the stage." Ju reflects, "Honestly, I didn't expect much in terms of acting, believing emotions stem from experience." He muses, "No matter how talented he is, he's barely 17, seeing the boy's youth." Ju considers the boy a 17-year-old kid with limits, his arms crossed in thought. "I knew his brain was exceptionally sharp," Ju admits, viewing the chaotic room, "but that is different from innate artistic talent." However, Ju's eye widens, a sudden shift in his understanding. He realizes, looking at the boy's past anguish, that was just my narrow-minded thought. Ju now sees the boy's sharp mind differently. Those abilities I admired were merely preparation tools for acting, Ju concludes, watching the boy tidy up. Not here, the real stage. The boy, calmly collecting items, replies, "I don't really plan on that." Ju passionately insists, "You don't know how amazing your talent is," but the boy coolly replies, "I like it the way it is now." As the boy shelves a script, Ju presses, "Don't you really want to act even with that talent?" The boy calmly states, "I don't want to become famous," placing the script labeled monodrama. Ju stares intently, a realization dawning on his face as he thinks, "This guy knows his own talent," Ju concludes, watching the boy confidently shelve the script. The boy turns, his expression conveying the natural assumption that acting leads to fame. Ju, sweating, argues, "Being somewhat famous might not be enough, but you can't just give up." "At your age, there's so much you haven't seen," Ju exclaims. "It wasn't easy for me either." Ju shouts, his face contorted with emotion. "I'll take responsibility, so do what you want and live." A faint, knowing smirk plays on the boy's lips as he considers Ju's plea. Responsibility. The boy questions Ju's bold claim. Responsibility for someone you've known less than a month? Why, to kill me? Ju's eyes flash, his voice raw with emotion. "Yeah, I'll kill them all for you!" Clutching his chest, Ju desperately presses, "So, do you want to do it?" We cut to a packed theater, the boy's voiceover states, "I really went up." In the audience, however, one young man nods off, his companion on her phone. Nearby, another pair laughs lightheartedly, a world away from the stage. The boy stands on stage, facing the blinding lights, thinking, "It's not that I don't understand the uncle's feelings." He remembers Ju's earlier fervent plea, hand pressed to his heart, a close-up of Ju's eye from that moment, intense, unwavering, and desperate. The boy admits his hidden truth. "I pretended not to know my own talent, despite Ju clearly seeing and supporting it." The boy sweeps, pondering Ju's vow. "But now he says he'll take responsibility for me. Is that why I couldn't refuse him?" As the grand red curtains begin to part, the boy's thought trails off. No, maybe. He stands center stage, a lone figure under the spotlight, facing the expectant audience. From the side, Ju watches the boy, his expression unreadable but focused. Ju, a hint of a smile playing on his lips, announces with anticipation, "It's starting!" Another staff member asks Ju, "Is that the kid you mentioned?" Ju confidently replies, "Yeah, don't be surprised. That kid is really not ordinary." The staffer voices his doubt. "The lead actor flaked 5 days ago, and he said 5 days was enough for a long monologue script?" Ju smirks, thinking, 5 days is impossible, especially for someone with no basic theater training. Ju then drops a bombshell. "Not 5 days, but 12 hours, leaving the other man utterly shocked. What did you say?" With a glint in his eye, Ju confirms, his arms crossed. I said it's just been 12 hours. Ju reveals the shocking truth. It's been 12 hours since the script was handed to the boy. On stage, the boy reaches out, his hand bathed in a single poignant spotlight. He sits alone, delivering his lines. I'm still trapped in those moments. The previously disengaged audience members now look up, captivated by his words. Now that I've lost you? Their expressions shift to intrigue as he continues. The world has locked me away in darkness and silence. The boy, lost in his performance, proclaims, The moment I first saw you, it felt like time stopped. Tears well in his eyes as he confesses, It was the first emotion I had ever experienced in my life. He continues his monologue under the spotlight. The moment you held my hand and smiled so brightly. The audience is now completely engrossed, their faces reflecting his sorrow as he speaks of our first goodbye. He slumps in his chair, overcome with emotion. I couldn't do anything. Nothing at all. On stage, the boy stumbles, lamenting, We were living in completely different worlds. He collapses, crying out, My past, my struggles, the choices I had no choice but to make. You never understood any of it. The audience gasps as he screams, You were everything to me. How could you say something like that to me? A previously disengaged audience member now stares, completely captivated by the raw emotion. The shocked staffer turns to Ju, exclaiming, Where did you even find a monster like that? Ju observes, impressed, even without proper vocal projection or breath control, everyone is focused solely on his performance. Ju continues, This isn't memorization. He's turned the character's entire life into his own. Another observer notes, the lines change a little bit as his emotions surge. The boy's passionate delivery convinces them. If the person on stage were truly the character, this is how they would speak. As the boy weeps, embodying the character's pain, the question hangs in the air. Is that really acting? On stage, a woman in white bows deeply to the boy under the spotlight. As she turns, he utters her character's name, Ellie. He desperately grabs her arm, shouting, Ellie, as she nearly falls. Holding her close, he begs, Don't go, Ellie, while she begins a confession about her past silence. Suddenly, her eyes widen in panic. She internally exclaims, Huh? I suddenly can't remember the line. The boy, still in character, prompts her, The reason is, as Ju and the staffer watch anxiously. Ju clutches his head, realizing with dread, Damn! She forgot her line! A narrator explains that new actors often blank out, and live theater offers no second chances. From the wings, Ju silently pleads, Please, even if you forget your line, just keep going naturally. The boy gently touches her cheek, improvising, No, don't say anything. Tears streaming, the boy tenderly tells her, You don't have to say anything more. I already knew. His eyes filled with sorrow and understanding meet hers as he whispers, So, he pulls her into a passionate kiss, declaring, So now, as the stage lights blaze. The grand red curtains sweep closed, obscuring the actors from view. In the audience, the previously disengaged girl and her companion stare, utterly stunned. Thunderous applause erupts from the captivated crowd, hands clapping wildly. Backstage, the actors walk off as the audience's cheers continue, one man having fallen in shock. Ju watches them depart, a profound sense of relief washing over him. He exhales, still marveling. This was all prepared in just 12 hours? Ju considers that most actors need weeks, yet this boy mastered it all, even blocking and props in mere hours. Ju reflects on the boy's brilliance, even covering the actress's forgotten lines seamlessly. Backstage, staff members are floored by the audience's reaction to just the first act, questioning how a 17-year-old managed it. Ju cryptically tells a stunned staffer that the boy prepared far more than just his acting. He points out the boy meticulously altered the stage concept, props, lighting, and even colors. The staffer realizes with a jolt that Ju is right. The boy single-handedly redesigned the entire stage. When asked if he allowed such drastic changes, Ju admits he was out of his depth to argue. Ju explains the boy spoke with such conviction about the artistic vision, he couldn't refute it. With a determined look, Ju states there's one undeniable truth about the young actor. He declares the boy is simply better than anyone else there, as the actors sit backstage. The boy, alone in the dressing room, is overwhelmed by a strange, unfamiliar emotion. He reflects, This isn't my first time acting. I played countless roles pulling cons in my past life. He confidently acknowledges his own innate talent. Memories surface of him expertly deceiving others in his previous life, but this experience on stage felt profoundly different. He realized every single eye in the audience was fixed on him. Spectators were openly weeping, deeply moved by the performance. When the emotion peaked, it felt like everyone, himself included, had entered another world. This strange, unfamiliar feeling washed over him in his second life. He remembers being ready to die, having even thrown away his name. He'd believed he could continue living that detached existence. He sits alone, a spotlight illuminating him, questioning if others could endure what he has. Ju bursts into the dressing room, startling the actress as he rushes towards the boy. Flustered, Ju turns away, apologizing for his sudden intrusion. He then grabs the boy's shoulder, exclaiming, "You little punk!" Ju beams, asking why the boy feigned modesty when he possessed such incredible talent. Shaking the boy, Ju questions his lack of script review, while the boy complains of dizziness. The boy, looking faint, explains he doesn't want to be trapped by the lines. Ju, exasperated, dismisses it as more of the boy's cryptic nonsense. Yet Ju pauses, a flicker of recognition in his eyes. But I think I've heard that somewhere before. A memory surfaces, a judging panel, and a voice stating true preparation means embodying the character, not just memorizing lines. Ju recalls a famous actress's philosophy: understand emotions and lines flow naturally, making scripts secondary on set. The actress, in Ju's memory, admits her 20 years of experience might make her sound arrogant. Ju marvels how the boy, a novice, echoes this seasoned wisdom without sounding like he's bluffing. The boy then adds another reason for not focusing on the script. He confesses, "Besides, this script has too many unfamiliar terms, it's giving me a headache," startling Ju. Ju realizes with a jolt, that's right, he still doesn't even know basic stage terms. He reflects guiltily on pushing the script on the boy, acknowledging the boy is far beyond his ability to guide. As Ju wonders where to even begin helping, a staffer announces Act 2 is starting. The boy suddenly turns, grabbing Ju's attention with a simple, "Mister." Ju turns, looking at the boy with a questioning, as anticipation builds for Act 2. The boy confidently tells Ju, "I'll be right back," as he heads towards the stage door. Act 2 begins, with the boy and actress bathed in a spotlight, their dialogue unheard. On stage, the boy smiles, pointing as if explaining something to his co-star. He gestures expansively to the actress, who listens intently to his words. The actors take their final bow as the audience erupts into a standing ovation. In the audience, a man in a cap claps, his gaze fixed on the stage. The man in the cap pulls his brim lower, a determined glint in his eye, thinking, "Found you at last." The scene shifts. The day after the performance ended, showing the boy alone in a large, sunlit room. He sits on the floor, diligently studying a pile of scripts and books. A new older man appears, asking the boy, "Planning to stare at those things forever?" The older man asks where the boy was, holding a bag and saying, "This should be enough for now." He tips the bag and several books tumble out onto the floor. The boy looks up, surprised, asking, "This is..." The man explains the books might not be fun, but they'll help, especially since the boy seemed stuck. A map shows the man went to the only bookstore in their countryside town, Jasmine Used Bookstore, in the heat. The boy, holding a book, thinks the man must have been bothered by his comment about unfamiliar terms. The older man watches thoughtfully as the boy sits on the floor, already engrossed in one of the books. The man sweats, wondering if these theories are even necessary for a kid with such talent. He worries about trapping the boy's genius instincts, but feels this is all he can offer. The boy looks up from the book, a slight smile on his face, and simply says, "This is fun." The older man asks if the boy feels better, and the boy admits studying is surprisingly fun. "Fun, huh?" the man muses, wondering if this is truly the boy's first time learning anything. He questions how the boy acts so well without knowledge, and the boy cryptically replies, "It's not just actors who can act well." Confused, the man asks what he means, and the boy warns, "Be careful. Someone like you would get eaten alive out there." The boy elaborates, "Someone like me, since you just dive in without thinking." Flustered, the man retorts, "What does a little runt like you know? When did I ever do that?" The boy coolly looks up, stating, "You're doing it right now." The older man glares, thinking, "You don't even know anything about me!" A moment of silence passes as the boy looks thoughtfully ahead. Closing his book, the boy suddenly asks, "Do you want me to become famous?" The older man firmly denies wanting fame for the boy, prompting a curious, "Then what?" He simply wants the boy to live authentically, pursuing his own desires. This realization, he admits, was a long journey for himself. He addresses the boy's potential suspicion. "You might think I'm just using you, but..." The man insists he would have bought the books regardless of the boy's performance. The boy counters, stating if he felt used, he'd have already taken this whole theater down. He genuinely appreciates the books, admitting he needed them. The man seeks confirmation, and the boy, engrossed in reading, affirms his sincerity. With a determined look, the boy promises, "I'll pay you back for it one day." The scene shifts to a building as a voice greets, "Good afternoon, Mr. Jumancic." Ju turns, a questioning look on his face as he's addressed. His eyes widen in sudden shock, a bead of sweat forming. A well-dressed man asks, "You're the owner of this theater, correct?" Making Ju internally exclaim, "This man..." Ju stands dumbfounded outside his theater, wondering, what is he doing in a place like this? The man confirms, "So you're the one running this theater." As Ju's mind races, why is he here? We learn this man is from NK Entertainment, a powerhouse known for Korea's top actors and major film casting. He introduces himself with a handshake. "I'm Choi Jae-min, director at NK Entertainment," a name even the public knows. Ju nervously asks, "What brings you here?" And Choi Jae-min replies, "I watched your play yesterday and really enjoyed it." Ju flinches slightly, his thoughts immediately going to "that kid." Choi Jae-min then asks, "Is he a member of this troupe?" And Ju hesitantly confirms, "Yes, that's right. He does work here." Choi Jae-min clarifies, "This isn't just any casting," his eyes gleaming with intent. He explains their desperate search for a child actor who can portray true maturity. Ju listens intently as Choi praises the boy's flawless portrayal of a man in his 30s. A flashback shows the man in the cap from the audience, thinking the boy's talent went beyond that. Choi Jae-min, with a serious expression, reiterates the gravity of his interest. He marvels, who would have thought such talent was hidden in a place like this? Ju, with a knowing look, agrees the boy's ability is more than just impressive. Ju presses further, "Then do you already have a specific plan for him?" Making Choi pause. Ju asserts, "I already know the scale of NK's professionals, expecting a significant offer." He then asks if NK will offer training and roles in major domestic and international projects. Choi Jae-min offers global education and event invites, of course, only if he wants it. Ju looks stunned, questioning such a grand offer for an inexperienced newcomer. For free? Choi insists the performance justifies it, his presence underscoring his eagerness for the boy. Ju agrees to try, fine, but cautiously adds, "It's not something I can decide alone." Choi presses, "If you're still hesitating, you don't grasp his potential," but Ju retorts, "You saw barely a fraction of his abilities." Ju's eyes narrow, a knowing glint revealing his deep understanding of the boy's talent. Choi extends his NK Entertainment card, stating, "We just want to provide the environment where the kid can thrive." Taking the card, Ju listens as Choi urges him to choose the most beneficial and fastest path for the boy. Choi departs, leaving Ju to think it over and contact me as the theater marquee glows at sunset. The scene shifts, showing the boy lying peacefully on the floor, surrounded by open books in a sunlit room. The boy lies on the floor, pondering, "What am I even supposed to do? It's not like I have money right now."
He continues his thought. "Well, I'm not exactly someone who's obsessed with money anyway."
Suddenly, a door creaks open and the boy turns his head towards the sound. Jumancic peeks in, wondering, already feeling bored? The boy looks up as the door creaks again, revealing Ju entering the room. Ju chides him, "I came to check if you were doing your job right. How could you have such a great teacher next to you and ask no questions at all?" Ju's eye narrows slightly, a hint of curiosity in his gaze. "Seems like you did have something on your mind," Ju observes, holding a book, as the boy replies, "Oh, that?" The boy explains, "It's already translated in the script. I just thought the sample translation seemed a bit off," pointing to circled text. Ju sits down enthusiastically. "All right, let's take a look. I've only been working professionally for 5 years, but I've studied like someone with 10 years experience." Ju eagerly leans in, thinking, "Is it finally my moment to be helpful?" As the boy points, "Here, this part, but..." Ju peers at the text, his initial confidence faltering into a puzzled, "Huh?" He sweats, exclaiming, "What language is this even supposed to be? I've read old texts before, but only through translated versions." Suddenly, Ju jolts upright, leaving the boy looking on with a question mark. The boy watches, a simple "ah" escaping his lips as Ju turns away. Ju dashes out, yelling, "My stomach! Just keep looking at it for now." The door slams shut with a resounding quang. Outside, Ju leans against the door, sighing heavily, clearly flustered. He wonders in disbelief, just how much more will he surprise me? Ju reflects. This was the image I dreamed of, sure, but for someone who just started acting to grow this quickly, he's already outgrown me. Ju sighs, admitting, I've failed countless times in life, but I've never felt this uncertain before. He questions his ability. How much more can I guide him with my own limited experience? Suddenly the boy appears, book in hand. Here, I don't understand this part. Please teach me. Ju stares at the English text the boy points to, a serious expression on the boy's face. A spark of recognition hits Ju. Ah, this one. Thankfully, I know this one. Ju begins to explain Brecht's fourth wall theory, as the boy defines it as the stage audience barrier. Ju elaborates. In Brecht's plays, actors break that fourth wall and interact directly with the audience. He continues, explaining it transforms theater into a platform for social messages, the boy listening intently. The boy, having understood, points to another passage. Yes, I get it, and also this one too. Ju looks on as the boy confidently states, this one's not that hard either. Ju sits at his desk, a thick book on theater in his hands. The book's title is revealed, Understanding Theater. Ju muses to think I'd revisit this at my age. He furiously studies, wondering if he's ever had such academic passion before. But his brow furrows. That intense passion was fleeting. Ju slumps, realizing the boy's talent and passion led to unimaginable growth. He walks away, admitting the boy's already beyond professional level, needing no more theory. Ju cautiously approaches a door, hand reaching for the knob. Inside, the boy diligently studies scripts, even decorating the empty stage after hours. On stage, the boy absorbs every detail, emotions, blocking, even lighting, a true artist. Ju watches the boy, lost in a script on the dimly lit stage. The boy doesn't just practice, he embodies every role, commanding the stage. Observing this, Ju murmurs thoughtfully, maybe... He pulls out Choi's card, a new resolve forming. This is better. Ju makes the call. Hello, Mr. Choi Jae-min, it's Ju Mansik. His expression is firm. Let's set everything else aside and talk face to face. The scene shifts to a bright day outside a beef rib soup restaurant. Inside, Ju observes the boy yawning over his meal, a thoughtful, escaping him. Ju's face is etched with concern. What should I do? He wonders with a sigh. Back in the theater, Ju is on the phone, Choi affirming, You've made a good decision. Ju agrees with Choi. Yes, we'll discuss that with the kid later. Choi then asks Ju, While you're here, I'd also like to see him act using our script once. Choi reassures, please don't feel too pressured, framing it as a company fit assessment. Choi confidently states, No aspiring actor would dare refuse an offer I make first. Yet Ju sweats as Choi admits, I don't think he'll follow so willingly. The boy, script in hand, scoffs internally, Soul, I'd rather review one more script. Ju, stressed, wonders, How can I persuade this kid? At a meal, Ju awkwardly urges the boy to eat, thinking if he should order more. Ju watches the boy eat, pondering, Why am I feeling awkward around this kid? Ju finally asks, a bead of sweat on his temple. Have you ever been to Seoul? The boy bluntly replies, No, adding he's never traveled anywhere. Ju slams the table, shocked. What? You've never even been on a trip? Ju quickly regains composure, thinking, No, that's not it. I almost went off topic. He tries a new tactic. Have you heard of the Yuksum building? It's in Seoul, you'd be shocked. Ju enthusiastically gestures, exclaiming, 63 floors. The boy, unimpressed while eating, simply says, That's amazing. An awkward silence hangs between them in the restaurant. Ju, sweating, finally blurts out, Anyway, I have to go to Seoul tomorrow. Want to come? He hypes up Seoul. Myeongdong! Huge buildings lined up. Aren't you curious? Ju continues, And what about the Han River? You can't compare it to a little stream. The boy continues eating, a silent, hanging in the air, clearly unmoved by Ju's pitch. Ju, sweating, stammers, Well, that's how it is. His attempt to sound casual failing. The boy cuts straight to the point. Do you want to send me away like that? forcing Ju to backtrack. That's disappointing, the boy remarks coolly, seeing right through Ju's weak excuse. He then accuses, "You're so greedy when it suits you," leaving Ju utterly stunned. Ju panics internally. Did he already know everything? A bead of sweat rolling down his face. He frantically wonders if the boy overheard his call or even contacted Choi himself. Ju sighs, regretting his approach. If I had known, I should have talked to him first, so... The boy then casually asks, "Are we going to Seoul tomorrow?" catching Ju completely off guard. Ju, still flustered, asks if there's anywhere the boy wants to visit, to which the boy flatly replies, "No, not really." Ju clarifies, "Do you think I'm bringing you because you need professional training?" The boy calmly replies, "Yes, I know," adding this isn't about improving his level. The boy considers, "Even if I don't know your situation, they might help you resolve it later." Ju insists, "You should meet people who at least match your level, as this place only has rookies." Ju continues, "It's fortunate if you don't ruin your stage here, and what could they possibly know anyway?" The boy asks, "So where is that place?" Ju reveals, "It's NK Entertainment. People there will recognize your true worth." The boy simply says, "Well, okay," leaving Ju momentarily stunned. Ju, suspicious, wonders, "Why are you so obedient all of a sudden? This isn't like you." Ju presses, "Are you really going?" as the boy silently eats. The scene dramatically shifts to the impressive NK Entertainment building under a bright sky, with a "wow" sound effect. Ju marvels, "That production studio is what I saw on TV, and that's new equipment." The boy, however, remains stoic as Ju excitedly peeks through some blinds, muttering, that is... What's with that?" "You're not a country bumpkin, sir," the boy remarks as Ju defensively retorts, "Who said I was making a fuss?" An employee announces, "We've arrived," then politely asks Ju, "Sir, please wait just in front here," gesturing to the meeting room. Ju takes a deep breath. Phew. "Okay, let's go, come on," trying to sound confident for the boy. Ju reaches for the doorknob, hesitating slightly. As the boy watches. "Will you come in with me?" the boy asks, looking at Ju standing by the door. "Ah," Ju stammers. "I'm just opening the door for you," as he turns the handle with a click. Ju anxiously tells the boy, "Do well and come back," to which the boy simply replies, "Yes." A voice greets the boy as he enters. "Welcome, student," his calm blue eyes meeting the speaker. Inside, 2 men await, one declaring, "We've been waiting." Choi gestures warmly, "Please sit in front here," offering the boy a seat. The boy's sharp eyes identify the speaker, NK Entertainment's Choi Jaemin. His gaze shifts to the man beside Choi, his mind continuing, "And next to him is..." The boy recognizes the other figure, NK Entertainment's lead actor Gil Junho.